I want an MRI scan so I can see how bad my back is and how bad it's going to get. Well, is this true? Is back pain actually, correlated well with MRI scans? In the here and now, we already know that MRIs done on someone who's not got pain can be bad, and vice versa. 80% of back pain is non-specific lower back pain, which means there is no discernible cause seen on an MRI scan. What about the future? So if you were to MRI someone who has back pain and then MRI them in the future and see if there's a change in what the MRI shows, but also, does it predict how bad they were at the beginning on the MRI? Does it predict the chance of their back pain being worse in the future? So is the structure being worse initially going to cause more pain down the line? And that's what they looked at in the study here. So in 1987, they actually got a load of 20-year-olds. They had 75 of them. They all had lower back pain and they all had an MRI scan. Now 30 years later, they tried to recontact these people, and as you may imagine, they didn't get hold of all of them, but they got hold of 69 of the 75, which is pretty good. Out of these 69 people, 35 of them actually completed a questionnaire which was about pain and disability, and 26 of these people actually even went on to have an MRI scan, and they also had a clinical examination. The MRIs were analysed to see about degenerative changes. And what they found is on the MRI, if someone presented at the first MRI at the start in 1987 with worse degenerative signs at that point, then they went on to have more severe degenerative signs at the follow-up 30 years later. So the degeneration was 57% of people who had worse MRIs at the start went on to have severe degeneration. And with healthy discs on the baseline, only 11% went on to have severe degeneration. So there was a difference there. So it does seem like if you are bad on your MRI scan at the start, then with age that will only get worse and will go into more severe. But did this correlate with pain and symptoms? So the severity of the disc degeneration had no correlation towards whether that person had pain or not. So to conclude, in young people who have degeneration will go on to be worse as they get older, more than if you're good at that young age. But that doesn't predict whether or not you get pain or disability. It doesn't have a bearing on that. So this shows you again that you can have an MRI that shows you have this, that and the other, but that doesn't mean you're going to have pain, symptoms or whatever. Not just now, but even 30 years down the line. Yes, the MRI will look worse, but you won't feel it and you won't feel any worse. So this shows you it's more about what you can do, not what is inside of you. So this was really interesting, obviously a very long study, and just highlights again that this structuralism, looking at MRIs and the scan and focusing on the scan, is not all what it's cracked up to be. Now this doesn't mean it has no relevance whatsoever, but it shows you not as relevant as you may think. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.
Perfect.